10 years after my death, my once gentle wife became a madwoman, throwing this world into chaos. The system sent dozens of agents to calm her down, but every one of them failed. With no other choice, the system resurrected me. When I, stripped of all my memories, was sent before her, a row of floating comments appeared before my eyes. Has the system lost its mind? The previous agents either looked like the heroine's late husband, or had the same personality. At the very least, they were handsome men with brains and emotional intelligence. Even they could not raise her affection score by 1%. This one only shares her late husband's gender. Everything else about him is utterly ordinary. You will probably be dead within a day. The system told me my name was Lichuan, and that I was 23. It wanted me to redeem a woman 10 years older than me, the ruthless heroine, Qinghan. Do not make the same mistakes as those agents before you. You will die. It showed me the records of every agent who came before me. None of them met a good end. After my phone screen went dark, I looked at my unremarkable face. I was nothing like them. Could I really do this? The system was silent for a long time. Just as I was about to repeat myself, "You can do it." It paused. Only you can. I did not understand what it meant. Following the system's directions, I had just found the restaurant where Qinghan was. Before I could get close, her bodyguards warned me off. Qinghan wore a black dress, sitting by the window as she waited to eat with her daughter. Her eyes were lowered. She did not spare me even a glance. Yet when I saw her cold features, I instinctively wanted to shout her name. Grief and joy rose within me, slowly drowning me. I froze where I stood. Before I could react, one of her bodyguards kicked me away. I was sent sprawling far from her. One jabbed a finger against my forehead and snarled, "Do not set your sights on someone you have no business wanting. This is only a warning. Next time, we will not let you off so easily." The clear sky suddenly turned gray. Then heavy rain came crashing down on me. I wiped the blood from the corner of my mouth, then slowly forced myself upright. A luxury car stopped outside the restaurant nearby. Qinghan's daughter hopped cheerfully out of it. When Qinghan saw her daughter, she rose to greet her, but her face still held no smile. Perhaps my stare was too intense. As the girl took her mother's hand and headed inside, she suddenly looked over at me, dazed. I tried to stand straight and gave her a gentle smile. Unlike her mother, the girl politely returned it, but it was only one glance. A bodyguard blocked her view. Both of them vanished from sight. It felt as though a piece of my heart had caved in. The crushing emptiness left me lost and restless. Before I could make sense of it, a row of black words suddenly appeared before me. They slowly surfaced, then faded away. Has the system lost its mind? What makes him qualified to be an agent? The system really is terrified that Qinghan will destroy the world. It will use any means necessary to keep her stable. To bad Qinghan went mad because her late husband died. It has already sent hundreds of agents. Some looked like him, while others acted like him. Some even came with all his memories, and the rest were at least handsome men with brains and emotional intelligence. I stared blankly at every message as it appeared and vanished. Once I understood, I tried to memorize every crucial detail. So, Qinghan really was as dangerous as they said. With so many agents having failed, no wonder the system kept warning me to be careful. For now, I should focus on making myself familiar to her. The system truly seemed out of options. Otherwise, it would never have chosen me. But why would someone as ordinary as me, with no standout qualities, be able to save Qinghan? As that thought crossed my mind, the floating comments began talking about me again. But the world has not exploded yet. That has nothing to do with the system, right? True. Her late husband only left behind a child. If she had not been carrying her late husband's child, she would have blown up the whole world to bury it with her long ago. After all, her late husband was Qinghan's first love, the one she cherished above all else. Only her late husband ever believed Qinghan was gentle and kind. So once he died, Qinghan did not even bother pretending anymore. Anyone who dared come to her carrying his traits met a terrible end without exception. So, what about this one? Other than his gender, he is nothing like her late husband. His looks are completely ordinary. How is he supposed to win over Qinghan? I thought he would be killed on his first day. I did not expect him to survive. Then I bet he will join his predecessors on day 2. I will take that bet too. It is freezing, and it is raining. He got hurt before he even met Qinghan. How is he supposed to endure this? A string of mocking laughter suddenly appeared. With my eyes lowered, I forced myself towards somewhere nearby. I never expected my next connection to Qinghan would come when her daughter sought me out. As I left the clinic, she stopped me. Stop? She lifted her chin, her eyes fixed intently on me. Do you know me? Why would she ask me that? Still, I honestly gave her my true answer. I do not know you. The little girl's smile faltered for an instant. Confusion filled her eyes. The sparse floating comments before me suddenly flooded in. No, I cannot take this. His stupidity is driving me insane. Where did the system find this genius to do the job? How does he not even know the basics? Even if he does not know, he could at least pretend. Unlike the comments, the girl spoke urgently. She pointed at herself, then pulled out a small blue mirror and shoved it into my hand. Look at our eyes. The comments appeared again. So the system plans to tell Qinghan, I found someone with eyes just like your late husband's. Right? Do not make me laugh. Other than that, he is nothing like him. What is so special about his eyes? Only then did I truly examine them. So, Qinghan's late husband had this trait too. When I showed no reaction, the corners of her mouth slowly drooped. She looked just like Qinghan, except disappointment filled her eyes. A woman in business attire hurried over. Miss, why are you here? Please, come back quickly. If madam cannot find you, she will be angry again. The girl lowered her head as she was led away. After taking a few steps, she paused, her tone cold. Arrange somewhere for that man to rest temporarily. He smells awful. He definitely has not bathed in 3 days. My face reddened after she exposed me. She was right. The system had given me no support at all. I had survived until now, only because the yuan left in my pocket bought me a few days of food. The girl left, leaving me to drag my mangled legs onward. The system told me I had died in a kidnapping 10 years ago. By all rights, after my death, a male lead should have appeared at the heroine Qinghan's side. But Qinghan was mad to her core. The moment I died, she turned dark. She killed anyone who came to win her over, gradually seizing most of this world's wealth and power. If this world collapsed, the system would disappear with it. To preserve this world over the years, it kept exhausting its own energy. So, when it resurrected me, could only piece my body together haphazardly, leaving only the same eyes I had before death, along with my old scars. No wonder they mocked me. Even I could not see any hope of succeeding, but this was my only chance to stay alive. Before that, I had to find a way to survive. Swallowing my pride, I begged Qinghan for a security job at the entrance to her residential complex. Because I was young, I often worked the night shift. Sometimes, I would run into her daughter. She was no longer as polite as before. Whenever she saw me, her face was cold. One night before dawn, I sat in the guard booth, drinking the warm water I had just scrounged to warm myself. 25 minutes later, Qinghan's white BMW passed in front of me. I knew because the long silent floating comments flooded in again. Enough. On day 10, I finally saw Qinghan. Why does this guy only know how to show up for work and do nothing? What is wrong with the system? Is it not going to push him at all? My heart pounded. I was so anxious. When I looked up again, Qinghan had already vanished from sight. A month later, I finally did not have to sleep in the guard booth anymore. Property management received a complaint and sent me upstairs to handle it. I glanced at the apartment number on the complaint. A knot of nerves formed in my chest. It was Qinghan's home. As the elevator rose floor by floor, I saw my tense face in the reflection. The moment I reached her floor, I heard faint, rapid breathing. I rushed to Qinghan's door and hammered the doorbell. The floating comments kept spamming question marks. What is he doing? Is he planning to break into her home? With that much drive, he should wait downstairs for Qinghan instead. She is about to come back. I paused. I looked at the door before me. The only response was even harsher breathing. I was certain Qinghan was inside. After a brief silence, I casually tried the passcode and went straight in. The floating comments were stunned. They were shocked that I got in on the first try. And by the scene before us, in the dim light, Qinghan, dressed in a long gown, was curled up on the sofa. She held herself tightly, her eyes full of helpless panic. When the door opened, she turned her head, trembling, though all strength had left her body. After her shock, her eyes filled with wariness. I turned on every light in the apartment, then pulled open the curtains. Once she calmed a little, I asked, "Where is your medicine?" Qinghan stared at me without speaking. I could not wait. I searched the apartment, found it, and fed it to her. After taking it from my hand, her face was still deathly pale, but her breathing was much better. Yet my heart remained tightly clenched. I stood under her gaze. All I wanted was to run, but she grabbed my wrist. Her eyes locked tightly on me. How do you know all this so well? The coldness of her wrist chilled me. Before I could react, she pulled me closer. It is you, is it not? An almost imperceptible glimmer flashed through her eyes. I recoiled in panic, unable to meet her eyes. Did she mistake me for her late husband? When I said nothing, her grip loosened slightly. I seized the chance and fled in haste. Qinghan remained in that position, fragile and alone. The moment I shut the door, the floating comments started cursing me again. He finally stumbled into a stroke of dumb luck, and he just walked away. This is the first time I have seen Qinghan like this. If it were me, I would take advantage of the chaos and pin her down. I would shamelessly stay at her place and take care of her. When is the she-devil ever this vulnerable? Miss this chance, and you might have to wait until your next life. I knew what they were thinking. They just wanted me to offend Qinghan immediately, get killed like the agents before me, so they could watch the next one arrive. But I always felt I could not do that. For several days afterward, Qinghan did not come after me as they said she would. Rationally, I made myself forget what happened that day. But she came home far more often. She was still the lofty, untouchable Qinghan, as though what happened days ago had only been a dream. Sometimes I listened as my co-workers gossiped about her. They said her life had been the same for 10 years, with the only major changes involving her daughter. They said she was difficult to approach. Even taking the steps toward her would earn a warning from her bodyguards. They said someone with wealth like hers would have moved into a private villa long ago. Only she remained here because of her late husband. They said she lived such a miserable life because she was staying faithful to her late husband. I always listened in silence. I thought, with a mission this difficult, I might as well not live at all. It was not as if I could live well anyway. Even the floating comments could not be bothered to say anything else. They went straight to personal attacks. Every so often, I saw comments checking in for the day. These days continued for a long time, and because I was easygoing, I was assigned more and more work every day. Sometimes I wondered, does this mission have a time limit? How much longer do I have to keep going? Distracted, I walked through the complex with the resident's cat on a leash. When I was not paying attention, I crashed hard into a man hurrying toward me, his documents scattered across the ground. The man kicked the cat, startling it into scratching wildly. As I soothed the cat, I crouched to gather the documents and apologized to the man. The man frowned deeply. Seeing the scars on my leg, he kicked me again. "What is your employee number? Is this how you do your job?" I lowered my head and explained. The man gave a cold snort. "Why have I never heard of you? You are new, right? Did your supervisor not teach you the rules?" Quite a few people turned to watch. I handed him the documents I had gathered, lowered my head, and said, "I am sorry. Please check whether there are any other problems with these documents. I will reprint them for you. Do you know how valuable my time is? You have wasted it. Can you afford to compensate me?" What am I supposed to do if President Gu holds me accountable? The man would not let it go. He kicked me again in indignation. I stood there stiffly, never thinking to dodge. "Then how would you like to settle this? I will cooperate however you want." As the people around us drew sharp breaths, I heard a car approach from nearby. It stopped close to me. As its door opened, footsteps came closer. A slender figure stopped at my side. The man's voice instantly lost its bluster. "President Gu, you came at just the right time. How many times did you just kick him?" The man did not understand, but he answered honestly anyway. "Just twice. That was going easy on him. People like him deserve it." Qinghan snorted coldly and waved a hand. 3 large bodyguards stepped forward. "Return the favor." Qinghan's tone was indifferent, giving away no emotion. Her voice was quiet, yet immensely commanding. The floating comments were no longer filled with boring insults. They surged in densely once more. Without exception, they were all posting question marks. What did I miss? I only stopped watching for a few days. What happened? Qinghan, did you not care about him? I froze for a moment, watching Qinghan's bodyguards beat the man black and blue. The man had no idea what he had done wrong. He wailed, "President Gu, I was wrong. I failed to recognize the security guard's importance. Please let me go." Qinghan turned and met my eyes. No emotion could be read in her dark gaze. Should I let him go? Seeing the man's miserable state, the faint grievance in my heart vanished. "Please stop hitting him." I spoke carefully, choosing my words. Qinghan nodded. With a gentle wave, she truly made the bodyguard stop. "We will not be working together anymore." The man struggled to his feet, his face ashen. He did not dare say another word. He could only drag himself away in humiliation. This was the first time I saw Qinghan's ruthless side. No one nearby dared intervene. Even those who had stopped to watch the drama hurried away because of Qinghan. Everyone knew how frightening Qinghan was. After quietly thanking her, I wanted to leave too. But she caught my wrist. Her hand was ice cold, startling me. But I met her smiling eyes. Her tone softened too. "Is this how you thank me?" The floating comments exploded again. "Qinghan, wake up. How does he resemble your late husband at all? Do not tell me you fell for him at first sight. I do not want to see an ugly guy paired with a gorgeous woman. Can someone tell me what he did? He only walked a cat. How did walking a cat raise his affection score?" I was just as confused as they were. I could not understand why Qinghan's feelings had changed so drastically. Maybe she had gone too long without smiling. I barely noticed the slight curve of her lips, and she sounded almost coquettish. A shiver ran through me, yet it did not feel so hard to accept. Somewhere deep down, I felt she was simply a little girl who could sweetly act spoiled. She did not seem to intend to wait for my answer. She picked up the cat that had been rubbing against her. Then she led me aside and seated me. I flinched. She immediately rolled up my pant leg and took the liniment handed over by a security guard. I looked down at her. All I could see was her delicate chin. She looked unexpectedly gentle. She slowly kneaded my leg until her palms grew warm. I suddenly snapped awake and pulled my leg back. So, I watched the cat I had just walked effortlessly find its bed and settled down. That cat is yours? Gu Qinghan nodded. I unconsciously frowned. Someone gently smoothed the crease from my brow. Gu Qinghan chuckled softly. What are you thinking? You do not think I would do something to that cat, do you? I hurriedly shook my head to deny it. No, but I felt guilty, because that was exactly what I had thought. Gu Qinghan said, he is already 11 years old. He has been with me for 11 years. He is as important as family to me. I am not someone who casually kills or hurts others. How could you think that of me? By the end, I could actually hear a trace of hurt in her voice. The floating comments before me were nothing but question marks. What kind of day is this? I actually got to see Gu Qinghan smile twice. After watching her for so many years, this is only the second time I have seen her smile. Does anyone remember how badly the last person who offended Gu Qinghan ended up? Has no one noticed? Gu Qinghan personally brought a stranger home. Last time, you could say he wanted him by mistake. But what about this time? No way. Gu Qinghan really likes this security guard. What is so special about him? Did you hear the rumors outside? Gu Qinghan looked quietly at me. The smile never left her lips. Everything they say outside is a lie. Do not believe them. Outside, I did not meet many people. But in that instant, I remembered what so many people had said. I repeatedly shook my head. Gu Qinghan's tone grew even gentler. He offended you, that is all. I merely returned the favor. That man merely lost my contract. He will not lose his job, much less his life. Gu Qinghan seemed to know everything, but I still remembered that I had only wanted to look at her once, and her bodyguards had kicked me away. That made her words even less convincing. Still, I nodded to show that I understood. After treating my injuries, she took me to a private hospital. The entire hospital was nearly empty. Only doctors and nurses stood at the entrance, waiting on call. She pointed at me. Take him for an examination. Only then did I realize the bodyguards around her had been replaced. The ones who had kicked me before were gone. When all the examinations were finished, the doctor looked grave. I pressed my lips together, unease rising in me. After all, I barely remembered how I had died 10 years ago. Can the scars on his body be healed? The doctor nodded, his gaze falling on me. Aside from a few minor wounds, they can all be treated. But the old injury in his leg will require further discussion. And this face was likely restored through cosmetic surgery after the injury. But it is incredible that, even now, only his eyes still look the same. I instinctively touched my face. I did not look like this before. Gu Qinghan seemed to have known all along. She nodded calmly. While they worked out a treatment plan, I was left by the door, staring blankly. When they were done, Gu Qinghan gave me a crutch. Until your leg fully heals, use this when you walk. I was a little reluctant. After all, I was still young. My leg was not even that bad. Please be good, all right. Gu Qinghan's voice was soft, almost pleading. I accepted it instinctively. Somehow, I could not bring myself to refuse her. Once she saw me take it, she was satisfied. She said she would take me home. I looked at her in disbelief. Home? Yes. Gu Qinghan nodded. From now on, let me take care of you. You will not have to live as you did before. I understood Gu Qinghan less and less. The speed of this relationship would make anyone think Gu Qinghan was trying to win me over. Why? Gu Qinghan smiled faintly. Because I like you. I know why you came close to me. And I know why you were brought back to life. My heart lurched. So she really did know everything. Just as the system had said. She controlled the order of this world. Whatever she wanted was how this world would operate. Then what about all those people before me? What made me different from them? Gu Qinghan led me into the car. The scenery outside the window slid away because they were only mission candidates. You are different. You are the one I sought to bring back. My true love. Gu Qinghan's words drifted into my ears, striking my mind like a blow. The text before my eyes erupted again. Oh my God. What did I just hear? What does that mean? Is Gu Qinghan saying the man before her is her late husband? How did she recognize him? That is incredible. No wonder the system chose him to win Gu Qinghan over. So that is why. Where are the people who mocked him for doing nothing? Say something. I am sorry. I will apologize first. No wonder Gu Qinghan threw herself at him. Her one true love has appeared in person. The real thing is the real thing, even with a different face and no memories at all. He is still far better than those fakes outside. Well, the floating comments had finally started praising him. A change in identity makes all the difference, huh? Maybe apologize first? When she said I was her true love, everything before me suddenly turned white. Then countless scenes flashed by in an instant. I reached out to catch them, but grasped only emptiness. I only understood that I truly was Gu Qinghan's dead lover. After a long while, I turned to Gu Qinghan. But I have forgotten everything. It is all right. Gu Qinghan smiled gently. As long as you can return to my side, nothing else matters. The car stopped in the garage. She held my hand and led me into the elevator. In the reflection, I seemed to see the fleeting image in my mind of a gentle, lovely Gu Qinghan. I will never let you leave me again. Once we entered, Gu Qinghan could no longer restrain herself. She pulled me straight into a full embrace. She pulled me, stumbling, into the living room, and I reached over to switch on the lights. I held her, soothing her, while looking over the warmly colored home. If I had only felt a faint familiarity here last time. This time, I understood. I had decorated this home myself, wishing for Qinghan to be happy forever. A wedding portrait stood in the center of the living room. One glance told me it was Qinghan and me, 10 years ago. I really was handsome. Seeing it made me feel a little self-conscious. Qinghan followed my gaze. She sighed softly. It has been 10 years, just to see you again. I spent 10 whole years. Click. A door opened somewhere nearby. Someone stepped out. It was Qinghan's daughter. My daughter, too. She stared at us in surprise. I cleared my throat. Still holding Qinghan, I sat up, putting some space between us. But Qinghan was unwilling and pressed herself against me again. She was already 9, not a fool. She understood many things, but I still could not be intimate in front of a child, nor could I bring myself to push Qinghan away. The girl had already come over. She spoke first. My name is NGÓN. I am 9 years old. Mom said that by the time she found out she was pregnant, you had already left us. She said you died saving her from that kidnapping. NGÓN's words brought my sealed memories flooding back. I remembered. Qinghan's and my careers had only just begun then. When our rivals could not beat us, they resorted to kidnapping. When I learned of it in advance, I decided to walk into their trap, rescue Qinghan, their target, and let myself be taken instead. Later, the kidnappers discovered I had brought help. Enraged, they took me out to sea. An explosion buried us all in flames. My leg was injured when I triggered the explosion, and they broke it as I tried to escape. The instant the flames erupted, there was no way I could avoid them. As NGÓN spoke, she suddenly burst into tears. I missed you so much too. Blood ties truly were a miraculous thing. Even though we had never met, when NGÓN ran into my arms, all I wanted to do was cry. Guilt flooded me for not being there as she grew up. If I had known Qinghan was carrying her, I would never have taken that risk. I held her tightly. I am sorry, I whispered softly. Raised by Qinghan, NGÓN was a very good child. Her little head nuzzled against my chest. Dad, I am here. NGÓN's shoulders trembled, and she sobbed her heart out. Qinghan sat beside us, watching quietly. Only after we had cried ourselves out did she speak. All right, NGÓN, let Dad rest for a while. Sleepiness swept over me. When I woke again, it was already evening. When I opened the bedroom door, I saw Qinghan and NGÓN at the dining table, having just set out the dishes. Dad, NGÓN ran over and hugged my leg. Today is Mom's first time cooking. She just finished and was about to wake you. Smiling, I picked NGÓN up. I looked at Qinghan. Thank you. Even knowing they were my wife and daughter, I still could not completely let down my guard. Fortunately, Qinghan understood how I felt. She said nothing more. As we ate, I finally asked, how did you recognize me? Qinghan paused. When I first saw you, I was not sure. You looked nothing like the photographs. Yet I was terribly unsettled. In the past 10 years, I had only felt that way when I learned you had died. But the system had sent hundreds of mission candidates to win me over. I did not know whether you were one of them, or whether you were truly you. Qinghan drew a deep breath, then looked directly into my eyes. So, when you broke into my home that day, I truly could not believe it. The passcode was my birthday followed by yours. I stared at her in disbelief. That is why I did not guard myself against you. Do you know how practiced your movements were that day? I only developed my illness after you left, but you acted as though you had never left my side. I felt as if I were still the girl by your side, the somewhat naive Qinghan from back then. I was afraid you were not real, afraid I would wake up and you would vanish again, without complete certainty. I did not dare truly acknowledge you. That little cat is very fierce, you know. But back then, it only trusted you. It only accepted us after you were gone. So I tested it. When it was willing to approach you, I knew I had not mistaken you for someone else. We both remember you. We missed you so much. Lichuan, welcome home. Though I remembered nothing, tears still blurred my vision. Sensing my emotions, the little cat ran over and rubbed against my feet. So even if I had forgotten, my heart beat and body remembered for me. Everything was telling me, welcome home. That night, I tossed and turned. Qinghan told me about everything that had happened over the past decade, and how she had raised NGÓN little by little. She also pulled up NGÓN's photographs from the last 9 years, along with videos for me to see. I did not know when you would return, but I knew you would regret missing it. So I recorded everything. Over the years, no matter the occasion, I would prepare gifts for her. I would tell her, Dad loves you too. He will come back one day. NGÓN was so good. She never begged for her father. I took the tablet and opened them one by one. I watched NGÓN at every stage of her life. The baby staring at the camera, the little girl smiling at it, struggling to roll over, then learning to stand, then running and calling for Mom. In every photo of the two of them, they left a place for me, as though I had never truly left. I could not stop myself from crying again. After turning off the tablet, I asked her, why were you so certain I would return? Did you do something with the system? Qinghan's hand stiffened around mine. By all rights, this world should have collapsed long ago. After all, Qinghan, as the female lead, had not followed the system's script. Since she knew the system existed, she must have done something to keep the system in check. Qinghan leaned against my shoulder and smiled. Yes, we keep each other in check. Or rather, I keep it in check all by myself. It needs this world to keep functioning normally, until its protagonists lived out their lives and grew old. But I killed the male lead. That left only me to maintain the world's normal order, to stop me from becoming too powerful. The system sent many people similar to you, mission candidates to win me over. If even one succeeded, they could split my power. But I wanted nothing else. I only wanted you. But your return gave it no advantage. It could only keep me stable. Naturally, it was unwilling to accept that. I knew it could bring you back. As long as I was powerful enough, it could do nothing to me, and would have no choice but to return you to me. So, for 10 years, it could only watch as I gradually took control of most of this world's wealth and power. It could only send you back to my side. After 10 years, I finally did it. Qinghan stroked my leg, her voice turning cold. But it did not return you to me whole. You still came back injured. I sensed the danger radiating from her, but I was not afraid. I smiled instead. At least, I was still grateful to it. It gave me a chance to be reborn. Otherwise, you would have been alone for 100 years. Qinghan gave a cold snort. If it dared, I would make it disappear with me. As if remembering something, she hugged me. As long as they do not hurt you, that is enough. After talking for so long, I grew sleepy too. But Qinghan slept restlessly. In my haze, I felt her repeatedly nuzzle into my arms. Instinctively, I held her close to comfort her. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Qinghan finally became still. I sank fully into sleep. I dreamed of the past. I remembered when I first met Qinghan. She had been fighting stray dogs for food. The instant our eyes met, my nanny tossed her a meat bun from her pocket. Muttering, "Heaven help." She tugged on my hand and said, "Young master, hurry. Let us go." Qinghan was filthy from head to toe. She snatched up the bun and crammed it into her mouth. Only her eyes were frighteningly clear. I held out my hand. I thought that if she was willing to take it, I would take her home. The very next second, she grabbed it. She said nothing, only stared intently at me. The nanny recoiled in fright. She tried to pull us apart, but I refused. I took Qinghan home and washed her clean. Only then did I realize she had merely been caked in grime. Once clean, her fair skin was flushed with pink. I told my parents I wanted to keep her. There was no particular reason. I simply thought she was quiet and beautiful. There was nothing wrong with either her mind or body. A child like her, even if sent to an orphanage, would have had many people eager to adopt her. Then one day, the nanny fell at our house and hid her head. I saw Qinghan hiding in a corner, smiling with satisfaction. It sent chills down my spine. That was when I learned she had antisocial personality disorder. At her biological parents' home and at her adoptive parents' home, there had already been many similar incidents. Whenever someone upset her, she would find a way to get revenge. She was remarkably clever, but I kept it secret. I wanted to guide her properly. At least, I wanted her to understand the law and order of the world. At least, I wanted her to know how ordinary people lived. Perhaps because I was the one who brought her home. She listened to me. I studied alongside her until she graduated high school. Later, my parents were framed. One was in a car accident, and the other went to prison. I lost all support. I did not even have the power to fight back. By then, Qinghan was very different from the child she had been. Her personality had changed completely. At least then, she was gentle and kind. She chose to rebuild our lives with me. We lived in basements and ate spoiled food. No matter how hard it became, we endured it together. I did not go to college. Instead, I worked away from home, working while supporting her education. I wanted her to keep going, to go as far as she could, since I had chosen to take responsibility for her life when we were young. Naturally, I had to see it through to the end. After graduating from college, my company was beginning to take shape. I also became a target of the system. After we married, I died in the stretch of sea I loved most, with no one to restrain her. Qinghan could not even be bothered to keep pretending. She took over my company and directly killed the first male lead to appear. The system did not dare do anything to her, much less truly send her to prison. Qinghan became increasingly brazen and impossible to control. She knew she was the heroine of a tragic romance novel. She knew I was meant to die. So, for the past 10 years, everything she did was to change the ending and bring me back to life. Once I remembered everything, I jolted awake from the dream. It was already 8 in the morning. Qinghan was still sleeping soundly in my arms. My heart was too full for words. In the end, I only kissed her forehead softly. I whispered, "Qinghan, I remember everything now. I really came back," as though she had heard me. Qinghan slowly woke from her dream, her body trembling. She pulled me into a tight embrace. "Lichuan," she called my name again and again. Again and again, I answered her. Yes, it is me. It really is me. 10 years. I really came back. When the system saw my affection score had reached its maximum, it finally breathed a sigh of relief. It gave us a happy ending. An ending where we would be happy for the rest of our lives. The viewers who had followed us all this way sent waves of comments drifting before my eyes. Congratulations. Truly, congratulations. I cried watching this. Oh my god, I thought this was a mission to win her heart. I never expected it to be a homecoming. I do not want to say goodbye, but it is really time to say goodbye. Lichuan and Qinghan, stay happy forever. Slowly, every message faded from before my eyes. I knew it had truly reached its end. What came next was the real life that belonged to Qinghan and me. After Qinghan and I lingered in bed for a while, we finally got up. It was the weekend, and Am was still sleeping in. I looked around the house. After thinking for a long time, I finally spoke. Qinghan, let us move. This place holds so many memories for us. But if we are going to start over, then we should leave the pain behind completely. Qinghan agreed. Later, we moved into a beautiful villa. Even Ann loved our new home. Only during the first week was she still a little unaccustomed to it. She looked at us hopefully. Dad, Mom, I want to sleep with you. I am a little scared. Qinghan put her hands on her hips and refused coldly. No, but it was my first time truly living with my daughter. I simply could not refuse her. Do not be like that. Just say yes this once, alright. That night, she lay between us, smiling contentedly. Before, I had only seen children on television, sleeping between their mom and dad. Even though I am grown up now, I finally get to have this. I am so happy. I nodded softly. Yes, watching my wife and daughter sleep beside me, I was happy.